Your whole life you have been told a massive, unforgivable lie. You hear it from your parents, you hear it from your teachers, you hear it from your boss. The lie is simple: time equals money. You give the world 8 hours of your life, and the world gives you a piece of paper that buys groceries. It is a neat, predictable system. It makes sense. So you bring this exact system into the financial markets. You sit at your desk for 4 hours. You expect to be paid for those 4 hours, and the market responds by reaching into your pocket, taking your wallet, and setting it on fire. Time does not equal money. If your goal is to make a fixed, predictable amount of cash every single day, you will never be a profitable trader. You are mathematically guaranteed to fail. You will slowly lose your mind, your savings, and your hair. But this is not your fault. You are simply applying the rules of a normal, polite society to a financial machine built by sociopaths. You are acting completely rational inside a deeply irrational system. Every beginner starts the exact same way. You hate your job. You want freedom. You open a blank spreadsheet on your computer. You do the math. You figure out that you need about $2,000 a month to pay your rent and buy decent food. There are roughly 20 trading days in a month, so you divide 2,000 by 20. The answer is 100. $100 a day. It looks so incredibly easy on the screen. It feels safe. It is a very confident mistake. You tell yourself you just need to grab $100 from the market, and then you can close your laptop and live your life. You are applying employee programming to a system that has no manager, no payroll department, and no human empathy. You are treating the market like it is your new boss. You think if you show up on time, sit in your chair, and stare intensely at the blinking red and green candles, the market owes you a wage for your effort. The market does not owe you a wage. The market does not even know you exist. This spreadsheet logic is a psychological trap. It creates a toxic urgency inside your brain. Let me tell you exactly what happens when you trade with a daily income goal. It is a slow, boring Tuesday. You wake up early, you drink your coffee, you sit at your desk at 9 in the morning, completely ready to execute your strategy. You wait. For 3 hours, the price does absolutely nothing. It just drifts sideways, bouncing up and down in a tiny, useless range, moving with the energy of a sedated jellyfish. You have no clear setups. Your strategy tells you to stay out. But it is now 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You look at your daily profit and loss. It says 0. According to your spreadsheet, you are currently failing. You have spent 5 hours staring at a screen, and you have not made your $100. Your employee brain starts screaming at you. It tells you that you are wasting your time. It tells you that you are falling behind. Your body physically reacts to this fake danger. Your palms sweat. You develop the heart rate of a hummingbird on espresso. So, you do something stupid. You force a trade. You find a mediocre, low-probability setup that you normally would never take. You convince yourself it looks good enough. You just need to make a quick $100 so you can feel productive and step away from the desk. You click buy. 10 minutes later, you are down $50. Now, a terrifying psychological shift happens. The death spiral begins. The moment you are down $50, your brain completely forgets about the $100 daily goal. Your goal instantly changes. You no longer want to win, you just want to not be a loser. Your entire focus shifts to getting back to 0. 0 becomes the most important number in the universe. You start revenge trading. You double your risk to make back the lost $50 quickly. You stop looking at the actual chart structure, you ignore the trend, you forget every single rule you promised yourself you would follow just a few hours ago. You are operating purely on the desperate human need to erase a mistake. The market easily takes your doubled position and crushes it. You are now down $200. You finally close your laptop in disgust, staring at a black screen, wondering how you lost control again. You forced a terrible trade. You did this because you demanded a perfectly flat, predictable salary from a machine that behaves like a drunk toddler. The market does not move evenly. It does not hand out cash in neat little daily envelopes. The financial market spends about 70% of its time chopping sideways, trapping amateur traders, and doing absolutely nothing of value. It only actually moves in clean, predictable trends about 30% of the time. You cannot extract a daily wage from a chaotic environment. When I worked as a prop firm data analyst, I had unrestricted access to the back-end servers. I watched thousands of accounts burn to the ground, but I also analyzed the raw data of the 1% who actually secure massive payouts. I took that classified data and put it into a new book. It gives you the exact mathematical difference between a professional and a gambler. Inside, You get the raw server data of 4,000 funded traders. You will see their exact win rates, their risk-to-reward ratios, and their hard daily loss limits. More importantly, it gives you step-by-step mechanical rules to physically force patience, control your fear, and stop overtrading dead in its tracks. It is the exact survival guide the top 1% use to survive drawdowns without losing their minds. It is time to mechanize your brain. The link to grab your copy is in the description. There is another massive flaw in your daily goal. It is simple math. Let us say you actually have a good strategy. Let us say your strategy wins 60% of the time. That is a fantastic, highly profitable win rate. But think about what that number actually means in the real world. It means that out of 100 trades, you are mathematically guaranteed to lose 40 of them. The market owes you losing days. Losing is baked into the math of your own success. If you try to force a profit every single day to hit your spreadsheet quota, you are literally fighting the mathematical reality of your own edge. You are refusing to accept the 40 losses that must happen for the 60 wins to make you rich. You are demanding perfection from a game built on probabilities. This brings us to the hardest lesson a human being has to learn when they start trading. It goes against everything your parents taught you. Working harder makes you poorer. In every other profession on earth, effort equals reward. If you scrub a floor harder, it gets cleaner. If you dig more holes, you are a better ditch digger. If you type more words, you are a faster writer. Doing more things makes you a good employee. If you bring this work ethic to the charts, you will destroy your account. In trading, doing more things usually ruins you. Staring at the screen for 10 hours does not force the market to give you a setup. Clicking the mouse more often just means you are paying more fees to your broker and taking worse trades. Overtrading is just a symptom of a strong work ethic applied to the wrong universe. Professional traders know this. They understand that inaction is an active strategy. Sitting on your hands and doing absolutely nothing for 3 days straight is highly profitable behavior. It protects your capital, it keeps your mind sharp, it proves you have discipline. Professionals do not grade themselves at the end of every day. They do not care if they made money on a Tuesday. Professionals measure their success in blocks of 20 trades. They understand that any single day is just random noise. You could follow your rules perfectly, execute a flawless trade, and still lose money, because a bank on the other side of the world decided to dump $1 billion into the market. That is not your fault. That is just probability. But over a block of 20 trades, if you follow your edge, the math will slowly grind out a profit. A professional is completely fine having 3 days in a row where they make absolutely $0. They do not feel guilty. They do not feel like they are failing. Because they know day 4 might provide a massive, beautiful trend that pays for the entire month. This is the hidden danger of hitting your daily goal. Hitting your goal actually limits your wealth. Imagine the market is having a massive, historic trend day. Everything is perfectly aligned. It is a fat pitch right down the middle. You enter your trade at 10 in the morning. By 11, you are up $100. According to your spreadsheet, you have hit your quota. So you close the trade, shut down your computer, and walk away feeling very proud of yourself. Meanwhile, the market continues to trend in your direction for the next 5 hours. You left $1,000 on the table because you were completely obsessed with a meaningless, artificial number you typed into a spreadsheet a year ago. You cut your winners short just to satisfy your employee programming. You acted like a factory worker who stops building cars the second the clock strikes 5, even though the factory is still paying triple overtime. You have to change your entire identity. You have to stop being a factory worker. A factory worker needs to stamp a cardboard box every 10 seconds to prove they are working. A factory worker trades their physical time for a tiny slice of money. If they stop stamping boxes, they get fired. You need to become an assassin. An assassin does not get paid by the hour. An assassin gets paid for the execution. An assassin will lie absolutely still in the cold mud for 3 days, barely breathing, just watching. They do not waste their bullets shooting at random trees just to feel busy. They wait. They wait until the environment, the wind, and the target are perfectly aligned. They pull the trigger once. The job is done. When you sit at your charts tomorrow morning, delete your daily goal. Forget the $100. Forget the rent money. Forget your spreadsheet. Your only job is to wait in the mud. If the market gives you your specific, highly tested setup, you execute it flawlessly, without hesitation. If the market gives you nothing, you do nothing. You protect your capital. You protect your mind. If you follow your rules and lose money, you had a good day. If you break your rules and make money, you had a very bad day. You must judge yourself on your execution, not your daily income. You do not need another magic indicator on your chart. You need a babysitter. You need forced discipline, because your human brain simply cannot be trusted to stop when it is bleeding. This is exactly what the Alpha Equity Manager does. It does one specific thing. It saves you from yourself. You tell the software your maximum daily loss. Let us say it is 2%. The second your floating loss hits exactly -2%, the machine takes over. It brutally closes every single open position you have. Then, it completely disables your buy and sell buttons for the rest of the day. You are physically locked out. And if your desperate, emotional brain tries to open the settings and change the limit to 3% just to take one more revenge trade, it blocks you. The time-locked vault instantly rejects your input. You cannot negotiate with it. You cannot cheat the system. It also calculates your exact dollar risk before you even enter a trade, removing all the dangerous guesswork. The link to download the Alpha Equity Manager is in the description. Stop relying on human willpower to protect your account. Willpower is a myth. Let a machine do it. Trading only works when you stop demanding a salary from the market. The market is cold, dark, and completely indifferent to your financial problems. It will gladly take everything you own if you treat it like a predictable job. But once you accept the chaos, once you surrender the need to be paid for your time, the stress disappears. You stop forcing trades. You stop staring at your profit and loss window. You stop sweating over small pullbacks. You become calm, detached, and slightly bored. And boredom, strangely enough, is the exact emotion you feel right before you become consistently profitable. So delete the spreadsheet. Forgive yourself for trying to apply normal logic to an insane game. Accept the math. And if the market is moving like a sedated jellyfish on a random Tuesday, just turn off the screen. Go outside, talk to a friend, read a book. The market will be here tomorrow. It always is.